Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Solution Seekers. I'm Kelly. If you haven't subscribed, please take the time out if you would like to subscribe. It would really help me out. With a heavy heart this evening, I was reading something and I got to see a live video clip of the jogger who was, in simpler terms, chased down like a dog and assassinated like somebody was hunting for a wild animal. We're in the middle of an epidemic and stuff like this is going on. It just boggles my mind. There's just been a host of different events that's just been going on just here in this country. So I can only imagine what's going on everywhere in other countries. That shit is exasperating. It's like it's um, an experience that just drains your soul. Just think about this. Thankfully, they're going to be charged, and hopefully this case will be rectified. But you know what? If it's not these cases, there's a lot of brutality going on, and all over the place. And the politicians are trying to open up all these states, and everybody is taking their corners, and that okay, it's Democrats, it's Republicans, or it's Democrats. And at the end of the day, what about the people? There's over 30 million people who are unemployed. I'm one of them. But you know what? I'm making some gains in trying to rectify that. But at the end of the day, it's just, man, it just wears down on me. I have all this physical pain. I have some health issues, and it got to the point it got to, and the reason I mentioned that was because it got to the point where I had to take a drive. And you know what? And I was just like, dude, I'm going through all this crap, and for what? What's the real reason? Why am I fucking even here? So what I did was I took a moment. I wrote down if I can tell it like it really was, man, and I did that, and I posted on Facebook, and it was just a gratifying experience to deal with the situation such as it's been presented, and just try to find a way. And that is, we're all going through things, but you know what? Somebody out there needs to know that they're not the only ones going through it. I think we're all going through it to a greater or lesser degree. There's a lot of indecision, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of adversity, obstacles, challenges. But I think it was Muhammad Ali. He said the floor is no place for a champion, and I try to use that as my mantra. I try to use that as my motto at all times. I go through a host of issues just like anybody else. I'm not exempt from them. But you know what? Sometimes the best thing to do is just do nothing. Don't make a decision and just sleep on it, and then wake up the next day and just tackle it, because it's not going anywhere. Um, you know, um, I've been seeing lately that from a host of people, I get a lot of phone calls. I got a little text messages from people going through different things, and a few people committed suicide, some drug overdose, some serious family issues. And you know what? With everything that I'm going through in my own personal life, you know what? The best thing I can do, it just makes me feel better that I can take the focus off myself, man, and just try to help somebody else out. That's a far cry from from the person I used to be, but you know what? It's one of those experiences that you gotta go through something to be able to elaborate or even fix it yourself, or even possibly help somebody else out. That's such a great feeling, But especially in these times, we're in the middle of an epidemic. It's not over. It's not going to be over for some time. People are going to kill people. Things are going to happen, unfortunately, as we're just dealing with the human condition and not the human spirit. So many people are just always focusing on me and how I feel and how am I going to get over this situation, but they're not going to get over the situation because you're not investing nothing into the spirit, especially those major problems, sometimes the problems that are outside of your control. But collectively, so much can be done. But I'm still seeing a lot of people just holding on to these arbitrary positions, and we're still being divided. What's the end game? I don't think that really anybody knows. In my capacity as an Uber driver, I picked up thousands of people in LA, And one of the questions I'd always chime in, no matter where they lived at, and I would ask very slowly, whether intoxicated, marginally intoxicated, or sober, um, does anybody really know what they're doing? And you know what? Out of all those people, everybody said, no, I don't. I'm just going through the motions and trying to make the best decisions possible. But you know what? That's okay. This is just one of the many conversations that I just have, and I kind of miss it because I have been driving since the whole thing happened over in Asia. I stopped driving, and I kind of miss it. I kind of miss that connection with the people, you know. But I get a lot of connections in my personal life, but it's just gratifying to see new people. I'm in some different Facebook groups like Open California, and people have a different opinion, and I just chime in because you know what? If you always focus on the differences and not the similarities, we're always going to be in those arbitrary positions. Because I think that at the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing, but just the process on the bag of goods that we've been sold that things have to be this way from this perspective or this concept, or this position, and it's really not. I don't think it is. It's just that we've been sold something that's not actually factual, and if when you really look at it, it's just like we just go through the motions. We're overburdened, we're overworked, we're overtaxed, we're over all these things to really pay attention to what's really going on. Now that I think that a lot of people have had a lot of time on their hands, now everybody has got these great positions, but what happened to it before? And what's going to happen 3 years from now? Are you still going to have that same emotion, that same energy, that same drive? When everything starts adding up. You're worrying about your 401k, you're worried about taking a vacation, but are you really going to be focusing on what the politicians are doing? Are you really going to be focusing on what some of these businesses are doing during this economic times? Are you going to really be focused on the environment or what have you, with all the prevalent issues, a lot of the issues that have been popping up? And I hope that a lot of people do. But then again, you know what? The status quo says that we're just going to be so wrapped up and so consumed with our lives, and it's just all about me and my family and what I'm doing, and the hell with everybody else. But yet, a lot of our liberties, a lot of our way of living has been eroded to a greater or lesser degree. With this vaccines are coming out, and who knows what they want to do. Do they want to vaccinate everybody? Then there's stories about there being tracers, and then before you go to a doctor's office, you're going to have to be tested and all this. With no prior notice, no nothing, and it's just we're constantly being presented with some new shit that nobody knows what the hell is really going on. Is it deceptive? Is it promoting for us, or what is it? And I'm at my wits' ends. I just don't know, but I do know that the only thing that I'm actually in control of is how I respond to any issue that's going on right now with myself. You know, and I try to look at everything else as being adversity or an opposition. That's my opportunity, and and not get all emotionally wrapped up in it and try to make the best decision that I possibly can. Or maybe I should just ask somebody else, well, man, what's your opinion of this? Maybe it's to a stranger. Maybe it's to somebody right there in that moment. What do you think about all this? And it's not really about my opinion, but it's about the next person's, because the next person can possibly change my opinion, or maybe make my day, turn my day from a bad one to a good one. But I like to think that nobody can screw up my day. I am the only person who can screw my day up. When I wake up in the morning, a lot of times I'm in pain, a lot of times I'm in anguish or whatever. But you know what? I wake up like, damn, I'm still here. Okay, it's going to be a good day, because nobody can screw it up but me. Then I go into the bathroom. Oh man, my water works. I go and make me some coffee. I got some power. A lot of people in the world don't have that. So I try to look at gratitude for the really small things when I start my day out. And it's not always possible, but it's doable for the most part. Some days are easier than others. Some days are hard. Some days are very difficult. But you know what? It's possible. Possibility blindness never has to be the foremost factor in your life unless you really choose to be so. I like to think that these are the defining moments in our lives that when faced with opposition, what are we going to do? Because you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make some type of decision. And I hope that it's the best decision for yourself possible. I will be glad when all this corona is gone, so I can shave this beard off. Because I said I was going to keep it until all this stuff has been resolved, and we can maybe get to some semblance of a normal life. But is that really going to be possible? Because none of this shit is going anywhere. It's going to be around for a while. And you know what? I just, one of the things that I pray for and I hope for on a constant basis is that we as a people can become more united in this adversity. Because one person can only do so much, but collectively, there's no stopping us. There's no stopping the human spirit. We've all, the human spirit's been through all this in greater circumstances than this is going on now. You know, with all this technology, with all this access to everything that we have, and it just seems to be that it's the same old shit. You know, a lot of people have just got these arbitrary positions and they refuse to budge. You know, I'm doing my best to try to counteract that and have a discussion with some people about whatever the topics may be that I feel passionate about, that I know something about. And, you know, if you can just help one person go through that, hey man, my job's done. Well, anyway, my battery is about to die. So, please subscribe if you haven't. If you think that you got any quality and value out of this, please subscribe, like, make some comments in the section, and thank you for joining me. Thank you.